Hey everybody, John Adams, Modern Design Aquascaping. Good to see you again. Today we're out here in Knoxville, Tennessee at one of my favorite koi ponds that we've ever built. As you can see, it's absolutely amazing. I am going to show you the features of this pond. We got a zero edge, we got a wetland filter, we got a lot of cool driftwood in here, we got a couple of fish caves, we've got an interaction stone over here, a feeding rock, all kinds of good stuff. We're going to go through that. So let me just go ahead and walk you around the pond and I'll just show you stuff real quick what we've got. Let's start right here in front of me. Beautiful carnivorous plants growing this awesome patch of moss. I know that we've got some peat moss down inside of this, and that's what these carnivorous plants grow out of. This right here where I'm standing is the beginning of the negative edge, which is one of my favorite features of this pond. The negative edge gives you the most pristine water quality in a pond because of the fact that that water is falling off of the surface of the pond. So you never have a collection of bubbles or pollen or anything else that's able to be trapped on the surface of your pond because it sheets down into this lower pooling area. You're going to see that that negative edge is wide this way, and it's super wide this way and wide this way. So if a fish comes up and tries to go over, they literally have water that's an inch thick, and they're going to have to swim a distance through this inch thick water to get over to the other side. So we've done everything we can to make it difficult and unfriendly for a fish to want to go this way. So one last thing I got to mention is the lighting in this feature. And you don't have to put lighting in a water feature, but can you only imagine that there's a very nice landscape lighting job. All the walkways are lit, there's uplighting on the trees in the landscape, and there's all kinds of lighting down in this pond. Absolutely amazing at night. Definitely a step that you don't want to skip in your pond. So let's talk about this feature, another thing that comes with this pond. Underneath here, we have one of the Aquascape rainwater harvesting. It's a pre-filter from the downspout. So this downspout filter captures just a small piece of the roof water over here on the screen porch from above. And what that does is it just fills this pond up. Every time it rains, it gets a nice shot of rainwater and it does a water change which goes out the overflow in the other direction. All right guys, let's take a walk around here. Let's go over to the feeding rock. I'm going to show you what we got going on over there. Look at these fish. I'm here to tell you, these guys are absolutely amazing. And when we built these ponds, some of these stones in here, there's some big specimens. There's an 8,000 pound stone underneath that turtle statue going that way. This rock reaches all the way to the bottom where it's 4 feet deep. It's standing on the bottom. That rock separates the shallow end from the deep end. It's all the way to the bottom, 3 tons of a boulder. There's some big rocks in this pond. Even though it's not a huge pond, it's got some great stones in it. This interaction stone, I talk about them all the time. The fact that you can come up to the edge of this pond and just sit down and put your feet in the water, and it's priceless. And I'm going to give you a tip right now about an interaction stone. Get it inside the liner and get it down in the water. The bottom of this stone goes 4 inches down into the water and 4 inches up out of the water. What that does is what it doesn't do is create a habitat for spiders and things that are creepy crawly. Then you don't want to put your feet down in the water. When you sit on this rock and put your feet in the water, you got nothing to worry about. There's nothing underneath there, but yet the water does come back under this stone where the fish can get under there, and we actually put a jet in under this rock to create some current so that they've got a place to play. Over in this direction over here, you can see a large flat boulder on top of the pond, right there where the orange guy's going. This flat boulder is another fish cave. There's an area that goes all the way back to the back of that stone under there that's big enough for 5 or 6 fish to get in there and hide. When they're during the cold season or in hibernation, that's an absolutely amazing spot for fish to go down deep and be protected while they sit there in the wintertime. We have another one of those over here underneath the little waterfall coming out of the wetland filter. So we've got 2 waterfalls. The main waterfall right here, Jan's directive was that she wanted to be able to look from her kitchen upstairs. She wanted to be able to look through the screen porch and see and hear one of the waterfalls. So we built this one on the left side specifically for that. The workhorse of your filter in this feature is over there on that side. So the water goes over the zero edge, and the gravel in the bottom of the zero edge is actually your pre-filter. That captures all the chunks and debris. That's where you clean out most of your solids. Any leaves and stuff that fall into the pond shoot over to the bottom. Then what happens is that water goes up to the top, and we've got a nice wetland filter over there. The Upflow Wetland Filter is our go-to filter when it comes to having crystal clear water, and you're going to see it on all of our best projects. Let's talk about the lilies and the lotus. So a lot of times we'll put lilies and lotuses in a pond, we'll put them right into the gravel. But in this instance, these water lilies are actually in pots, and we pull these pots out, we divide them, and we use the containers so that we can really heavily fertilize and get the most blooms possible out of our lilies and lotuses. It's mid-May and we're already getting some nice lotus leaves and some nice pads on our lilies. These things, by the end of summertime, are going to be ballistic. There's going to be flowers everywhere. That's going to be a massive circle of lilies in there. They do amazing, if we can keep the fish from nibbling on them, that is. One of the greatest things about this feature is actually the view from up in the living area. So we're built down here in basement level of the house, but when you're standing up on the porch upstairs, there's a big closed-in covered screen porch, and then there's an open porch. These guys have get-togethers all the time, garden clubs come out, their friends and family, they spend all kinds of time on that porch up there. And I'm going to tell you right now, from up there, the view down into this pond is absolutely astounding. That's one of the greatest things of having this down in a lower level, but it's right outside the window. They eat breakfast out here watching their fish, they eat dinner out here watching their fish. This is an interactive part of their whole living experience, and it's their favorite part of their yard. So I can't help talk about the beautiful landscape around this pond, and that's one thing that I had a little say in, but not a lot of say. Look at these plants. We've got thunderhead black pine, beautiful red Japanese maples. We've got all kinds of junipers and evergreens, and not only does that feel oriental to me, look at this beautiful carpet juniper. They're just gorgeous, and it looks great all year long because there's a lot of bones, there's a lot of green stuff that doesn't go away. And then flowers and ground covers come in the summer, and all the pond plants keep it amazing. It's ever changing, but it's never just barren. And that's one of my favorite things about this landscape, is that there's a lot of interest in the pond as well as around it. So keep that in mind when you're building a water feature, and give it the landscape that it deserves when you're done. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, tell us that you liked it, subscribe to our channel if you want to see more about amazing water feature projects that we get to be a part of. And if you have any questions or concerns, anything else you'd like to talk about, hit me up in the comment section down there. Appreciate you guys watching. Have an amazing day.